woo, that's where it's happening. That's where it is happening. There is a governmental committee that one of my former students is on that is concerned with ethical relationships between humans and robots. A governmental committee discussing how robots and humans get together. So there are still plenty of people out there in the world determined to have major high-tech change. Also, I teach at something else called the International Space University, as in going up into outer space. It's in France. I go to France and teach these other students who are from space industries and space agencies. There was a meeting in the Capitol a month, 2 months ago about people that want to make Hawaii be a big new spaceport and a big worker in the space industries. And we saw slide after slide showing how good that will be for the local community, for the local Hawaiian community, to be part of the space activity. So that's my fifth future. I imagine Hawaii as a node in a high-tech, decentralized, interplanetary network of local communities. The world is moving swiftly beyond the nation-state system and beyond old-fashioned concepts like sovereignty. Each community, including in Hawaii, will protect and expand local ways within a global, regional, global, and soon intersolar system planetary electronic network. Moon, Venus, Mars. Well, anyway, those are my four alternatives, my five alternatives for having us think about what we want Hawaii to be like in terms of its relationships to the rest of the world. So I'll close by just summarizing the major points from my point of view. The first is that any group that is interested in major changes in the political economic system here in Hawaii should feel that that is a very likely event, that it might, following the analogy of Eastern Europe, come quickly and peacefully, and therefore it's extremely important that you be prepared to ask what next. So if you do not already have a group of people whose only job within the movement is to think about what's next, who is not worried about all the stuff about how we're going to get it, but assumes if it's happening, so that at every point as the future unfolds, they are thinking about what's next and talking with other members in the movement about it. I think that's an extremely important thing to happen. And then the other question is, aside from all of the questions of internal politics, what sort of relationship would you like to have with the rest of the world? Maybe the five alternatives that I listed are not ones that you have any interest in at all, but at least I would like to have you think seriously about that issue. So thank you very much, Lynette, for giving me this opportunity to talk to the group. I'll now be silent, and the reason I'm here is to learn.
We're taking questions. Are there any? Are we all signing?
Wasn't it after the signing of the founding fathers of America, they signed all the documents? Wasn't it Thomas Jefferson who said, now we go down here?
Probably.
Down here.
Whether we did or not, whether we said or not, we did. But we didn't because there was no intention to establish democratic government.
Well, they had a common enemy. Huh? So all the focus and energy was on England. They had supposedly conquered England, which I doubt myself.
But they had to fight them again in 1812. So they must not have been very successful.
They still up the Potomac. Yeah.
Hold on. It's been
After Poca asks this question, can you repeat it? Because I don't think they can figure it out.
Okay.
And it's very interesting. Thank you for thinking about this, all of these ideas. I am concerned about two aspects perhaps you haven't touched on, or at least not satisfactory for me. One is process, and two is the development of a new medium of exchange other than finance. And so I believe, first, if I can talk about a new medium of exchange, and to me it needs to be a reconsideration of the deep culture that has captured Hawaii as well as America as well as the rest of the world, and that has been based on domination, individualism, and exclusion. And I believe by the dreaming process and looking at that and asking ourselves, how do we relate now with everything going haywire, and what are the new terms of relationship? I think that is a very important aspect of determining then how we relate to our environment, how we relate to one another, how we relate to other communities, how we relate internationally. So a lot of the answers will be contained in how we develop a new deep culture that substitutes for what we presently have. The second is a process. How do we do the thinking? How do we do the preparation for the new world? And I believe that one of the important elements in that process needs to be to exclude no one, legitimizing everyone's voice and making it a very wide participatory process. Even if we have these specialized thinkers set aside and only thinking about the future, the people who are not participating there will somehow feel iced out. And by just that transaction, you will have the resistance. So I think what we need to do is continually communicate with everyone and bring everyone into the process and let the dreaming infect the whole society, so that in the end, when we have reached whatever consensus we reach, it would have been participatory and people are more willing to accept whatever scenario we end up with.
Well, I think those are very wise comments, and I agree entirely. I think that nonetheless, just as there might be someone that we each have our own particular talents, I think that if we don't have a group of people tasked with looking ahead and just leave it up to all of us, I don't think it will happen. And so that I agree that it can't be done separately, and it can't be done in an elitist way.